Hello, my dear friend. Have you ever lain awake in the middle of the night, your body exhausted and craving rest, yet your mind simply refuses to let you go? Streams of negative thoughts rush in like a flood, carrying vague anxieties and self-blame, leaving you feeling drained and trapped inside your own head. But imagine for a moment, what would happen if you could take control of that storm? What would happen if you found an island of peace right in the midst of this chaos? The Buddha once taught that your life is the truest reflection of your thoughts. Today, let us journey deep into 7 lessons of wisdom from Buddhism to not only defeat negative thoughts, but to transform them into a source of energy for awakening and peace. Lesson 1. Acknowledge and name your thoughts. My dear friend, the first lesson to finding peace is a liberating truth. You are not your thoughts. We often make the mistake of believing that those dark thoughts are our true nature, but in reality, they are just passing guests. Imagine your mind is as vast and still as the deep blue sky, and negative thoughts, no matter how fierce, are just dark clouds drifting by. The sky never judges the clouds, nor is it stained by them. It simply observes. Next time, when a negative thought rushes in, instead of panicking or trying to chase it away, practice mindfulness by naming it. Gently whisper to yourself, "This is fear. This is anxiety." The very moment you name the emotion, you create a safe distance between you and it. The thought loses its power to control, and you return to the position of a calm observer. Lesson 2. Reframe your perspective to transform suffering. After learning to observe thoughts, we step into the second lesson about the supreme power of the mind. Changing your perspective. The Buddha taught that the nature of all events is inherently neutral. It is the lens through which we look that colors them with happiness or suffering. With the same rain, a farmer may rejoice because his crops are watered, but a traveler may be annoyed because his clothes get wet. The difference lies not in the rain, but in the attitude of the observer. Let's take a very practical example in your life. When facing immense pressure at work or an unexpected failure, our natural reaction is often to complain that this is too hard, asking why bad luck has befallen us. That thought immediately turns you into a victim and drains your energy. But try rotating that lens slightly in a different direction. Look at it again and tell yourself that this is not a dead end. This is an opportunity for me to train my bravery and grow. Or when you encounter a difficult person who upsets you, instead of seeing them as an enemy, try seeing them as a strict teacher sent by the universe to help you practice the lesson of patience and tolerance. Whenever the darkness of negativity surrounds you, pause, breathe deeply, and ask yourself an enlightening question. Is there another, brighter way to look at this? Just a small shift in mindset is like turning on a light in a dark room. The external circumstances may not have changed, but your internal state has shifted from pessimism to hope, turning obstacles into stepping stones for you to rise higher. That is the art of turning mud into a lotus right in everyday life. Lesson 3. Positive affirmations and self-talk. My dear friend, let us be honest with ourselves. Is the person you treat most harshly in this world none other than yourself? We easily fall into the loop of self-criticism, tormenting ourselves for the smallest mistakes, something we would never do to others. But to find balance again, learn to change that internal dialogue. Begin to speak to yourself with gentleness and tolerance, just as you would comfort a soulmate who is facing difficulties. Every day, plant positive affirmations in your mind, such as, "I deserve peace. I am doing my best." This repetition is not just mental therapy, it actually helps change the structure of the brain, uprooting negative roots to make way for trust and love to sprout. Lesson 4. Surround yourself with positivity. My dear friend, in Buddhism, there is a beautiful concept called Sangha, which means a community of fellow practitioners who always support and illuminate each other. The Buddha clearly understood that we are not trees growing alone in a desert. Our growth is deeply influenced by the soil and the atmosphere around us. A seed, no matter how good, if sown in dry land full of weeds and toxins, will struggle to sprout healthily. Your mind is exactly the same. The environment you live in, the people you meet, and what you consume every day are the food that nourishes your emotions. If you want to defeat negative thoughts, start by purifying your living environment. Courageously review your social relationships. There are people who always bring complaints, criticism, or sow fear. Too much contact with them will unintentionally drain your peaceful energy. Conversely, actively connect with those who make you feel listened to, encouraged, and at peace. Besides that, pay attention to your mental diet. The news you read, the movies you watch, or the content on social media, all are silently watering your consciousness with seeds of wholesomeness or unwholesomeness. Choose carefully what you allow to enter the door of your soul, and do not forget to care for your physical living space. A cluttered room often reflects a chaotic mind. Try tidying up your house, opening the windows to let in the sunlight, or arranging a vase of fresh flowers to bring vitality into the room. You can also create a small, peaceful corner for yourself, where you place good books, a scented candle, or a gratitude journal. When the external space becomes still and fresh, your mind will automatically settle down, and positive thoughts will have the opportunity to bloom naturally. Lesson 5. Take action to break the cycle. My dear friend, there is a dangerous psychological trap we often fall into when sad or anxious: paralysis. We tend to withdraw, lie in bed, or sit still to gnaw on our pain. But you need to know that negative thoughts are like harmful moss. They thrive best in stagnant water. The more you do nothing, the louder and more terrifying the noise in your head becomes. The fastest and most effective way to turn off that noise is not trying to think positively, but taking action. Break the loop of paralysis by moving your body. When the body moves, the mind moves too. You don't need to move mountains. Start with small but decisive actions. Stand up and walk around the block, letting the breeze blow away the gloom. Tidy up your room, wash a stack of dishes, or rearrange a bookshelf. When your hands are busy with concrete tasks, your mind is forced to leave vague speculations to focus on reality. Or you can do something creative like painting, writing, or cooking a delicious meal. Creativity is the enemy of destruction. It will pull you out of the deep pit of pessimism. Please do not wait until you feel inspired or until the sadness is gone to act. Motivation does not arise spontaneously. It is the result of action. Act even when you don't want to. Those small steps will create momentum, breaking the block of stagnation in your heart and clearing the flow of positive life energy. Lesson 6. Gratitude practice as a miracle. My dear friend, when the mind is clouded by dark clouds of negative thoughts, we often fall into the illusion of lack. We only see what we have lost, what we do not have, and what is going wrong. But this 6th lesson will be the brightest searchlight to dispel that darkness. It is the practice of gratitude. In the wisdom of Buddhism, gratitude is not just social politeness. It is a profound form of mindfulness. Gratitude means waking up to recognize the miracles present right here, right now, which the busy mind often accidentally misses. Science has also proven that our brains cannot feel grateful and anxious or angry at the same time. Gratitude is the strongest antidote to all mental poisons. Let's start the journey of gratitude with the simplest things, the background miracles that we often overlook. Be grateful for the breath rising and falling in your chest, for it shows that life is still continuing. Be grateful for eyes that can still see the sky, legs that are still strong enough to walk, and the hot meal that heaven and earth provide. When you cherish small things, your soul automatically shifts from a state of demanding to a state of abundance. Next, offer gratitude to those around you, and most importantly, be grateful to yourself. Thank your body for resiliently carrying you through so many ups and downs. Thank your heart for not stopping its beat even when hurt. Writing a gratitude journal every day is not an empty exercise. It is how you water the garden of consciousness with drops of sweet nectar so that flowers of happiness can bloom even on the driest land. And at the highest level of practice, I invite you to try learning to be grateful even for adversities. It sounds paradoxical, but difficulties and those who have hurt you are often the strictest teachers who teach you lessons about strength, tolerance, and letting go. Without mud, the lotus cannot release its fragrance. Without stormy days, we would not know how to cherish sunny days. Turn gratitude into a sacred ritual every day. When you wake up, smile and thank the new day. Before sleeping at night, recount 3 good things that happened. When you look at life with eyes of gratitude, you will see grace everywhere, opportunities to love everywhere, and then the darkness of negativity will no longer have a place to dwell in your house filled with light. Lesson 7. Trust the process of life. My dear friend, we have walked almost the entire path of healing. This 7th lesson is the final piece to complete the picture of the soul, helping you not only overcome negative thoughts, but also find absolute serenity amidst all the fluctuations of life. In Buddhism, there are 2 foundational concepts that help us stand firm in life: impermanence, anicca, and equanimity, upekkha. Impermanence reminds us that everything is changing, nothing lasts forever. And equanimity teaches us not to cling, not to be attached to those changes. When we combine these 2, we have the key to peace. It is accepting to let go of control and trusting in the natural flow of life. We often think negatively because we fear the future. We fear things won't go our way, fear unforeseen uncertainties. We want to grip the steering wheel of fate and force it to follow the path we have mapped out. But try to imagine the journey of life is like climbing a high mountain amidst thick fog. You cannot see the summit, nor can you see the path beyond a few steps. Fear and negative thoughts begin to whisper in your ear that maybe there is an abyss ahead. Maybe you are lost. You want the fog to clear immediately to see the whole picture, but you cannot control the weather. In that situation, what is the only way for you to keep moving forward without panic? It is to trust your current step. You don't need to see the whole mountain. Seeing clearly where you are placing your foot is safe enough. Learn to let go of the need to know everything in advance. Be patient with yourself and with the times. Sometimes, things we consider bad luck or failure at the present moment, when looked back upon from a new height in the future, we see were the most necessary turns to bring us to true happiness. Try looking back at your own past. Have there been times when things caused you extreme suffering, seemingly insurmountable? But now looking back, you silently thank them because thanks to them, you became stronger and more mature. Everything happens for a reason, all within a subtle causal order that our ordinary eyes cannot yet fully perceive. Your task is not to worry about tomorrow or regret yesterday. Your task is to sow seeds of goodness right in this moment. Believe in good karma. If you sow positive thoughts and sow kind actions, the sweet fruit will surely bloom at its right time, not too early and not too late. When you dare to loosen your clenched hands, when you dare to lean back and let the river of life support you, you will feel an immense lightness. You don't need to strain yourself to fight the whole world anymore. You just need to flow, be flexible, and trust. Let life take you where you need to be, because sometimes the universe's plan for you is even more wonderful than anything you could imagine. Trusting the process is the highest form of peace. My dear friend, we have walked together through 7 lessons to transform the garden of the mind. Please remember, positivity and peace are not random gifts falling from the sky, but the result of your persistence in watering good seeds and weeding out the bad ones every day. Do not wait for the storm to pass. Learn to find stillness right within the rain. If these sharings have provided you with a spiritual anchor, please spread that energy by pressing the like, share, and subscribe buttons so we can continue to walk together on the path of awakening. I would like to close with a profound reminder from the Buddha for you to carry with you. Happiness does not depend on who you are or what you have. It depends solely on what you think. May your mind always be steadfast and calm like a still lake. Goodbye, and see you again in the next videos.